Welcome back, everybody, to another Future presentation. This time it is another movie review here with the Future, and this time it is over the movie Sully, 2016. If you haven't seen my other movie reviews, make sure you go back and check them out. This is the 6th review in the review series that I have done so far. I continue to do these movie reviews as long as I keep going to the movies and checking movies out and giving my first take opinion on what the movie is about. All the other videos are similar to this, so make sure you go back and check them out. Make sure you subscribe, give me a like, comment, and all that good stuff too if you like what you hear. But right now we are going to get into a review of the 2016 film Sully, an American biographical drama film directed and produced by Clint Eastwood and written by Todd Carmanacki, based on the autobiography Highest Duty by Captain Chesley Sully Sullenberger and Jeffrey Zaslow. The film stars Tom Hanks as Sullenberger, with Aaron Eckhart, Laura Linney, Anna Gwynn, Autumn Reeser, Holt, McCallany, James Sheridan, and Jerry Ferrara in supporting roles. It follows Sullenberger's 2009 emergency landing of a commuter jet on the Hudson River, which all 155 passengers and crew survived with only minor injuries, and the publicity and investigation. Sully premiered at the 43rd Annual Telluride Film Festival on September 2nd, 2016, and was released in the United States by Warner Brothers on September 9th, 2016, in conventional and IMAX theaters. The film has received positive reviews so far from critics and has grossed $126 million worldwide by the time I have done this video, but it is stoked in controversy in its portrayal of the National Transportation Safety Board, the NTSB. A little bit on the plot of this movie. Captain Chesley Sully Sullenberger and Jeffrey Skiles board the U.S. Air Flight 1549 from LaGuardia Airport en route to Charlotte Douglas International Airport. They took off, and within minutes the flight was hit by a flock of geese, disabling both engines, and without engine power or any of the airports within safe distance, Teterboro Airport being the closest, Sully decided to ditch the aircraft on the Hudson River instead. He was the first man to ever make a successful land on water. He called it an emergency water landing. The press and public immediately hail him as a hero, but the experience leaves him with PTSD, repeatedly envisioning the plane crashing into buildings. And throughout the movie, you see this depicted many times in many ways, and I thought the shooting of this film by Eastwood was very unique and very good. Afterwards, Sullenberg has a preliminary data reports from Aircraft Communications Addressing and Reporting System that said that the left engine actually still had enough power to make it back to the airport, to LaGuardia. So, what happens is the NTSB ends up investigating Sullenberger and actually wants to report this as a pilot error instead of a emergency landing that he, had to pull off to save the 155 passengers. So there's a lot of drama build up in this movie of what's going to happen. Of course, if you know the case and the investigation and everything, you already know what's going to happen, but it really takes you behind the scenes with the NTSB and how they handle these cases of crashes, and it was really interesting to see in portrayal in a film like this. And Clint Eastwood, always great with his job directing, does no less of a job here. He does great in some of these scenes. The airplane scenes were very good. A lot of flashback goes back to when he was younger, when he first started flying planes. Then they have flashbacks of him landing a military plane with a problem. Also, it shows just, how good of a pilot that this guy had, over 42 years of experience whenever this crash happened. So these people that survived, the other 154 people, must be thankful Sully for being at the helm there of that plane, bringing it down for that water landing, because he had a lot of experience, he knew what he was doing on the landing, and he pulled it off successful. They go through the entire happening. They also show the rescue efforts, which when Sully was being held on the news as a hero, they did not really mention all the Coast Guard effort, Red Cross efforts that also went into this. His co-pilot was also a main factor in this. Also, just the stewardesses themselves were also part of the evacuation plan, and it shows you behind the scenes that it wasn't just Sullenberger landing it, but he was the main factor. I don't like to give everything away. All I'm going to say is that this movie was very, very good, and it is definitely worth checking out if you're interested in seeing it. Tom Hanks does a hell of a job as Chesley Sully Sullenberger. Aaron Eckhart as Jeff Skiles, his co-pilot. Laura Linney plays his wife, Lorraine Sullenberger, who has an ongoing conversation with him via phone calls and stuff while all this is going on, and he's dealing with the PTSD that he's having from it. Anna Gunn plays one of the main investigators for the NTSB, Dr. Elizabeth Davis. But yeah, it has sparked controversy by the NTSB, and I can see it because they did kind of pattern the NTSB to be kind of like the antagonist villains in this movie, and when you see it, you will exactly know what I mean right off the hand. They don't portray them to be on Sully's side at all, like they weren't giving him a chance, but who knows, in real life that may have been different. It all comes down to what you do in real time than what goes on modulated simulations. The human effect is a very different effect when you don't know something's going to happen compared to like a simulation of a flight. It's going to come out a lot different than what you think whenever you tell somebody, you know, this is exactly what's going to happen, this is how you're going to react. It has a lot to do with that. And they do give props to, you know, the Coast Guard and everybody for also helping in this movie in a certain way. The ending line I really loved in this movie and how it went off. And then they actually show in, this is kind of a spoiler, but in post-credit sequence, do not leave, because you actually get to see the real Sully and the other 154 survivors from the plane. Overall, I would give this movie definitely an 8.5 to 9 out of 10. It's not the greatest movie that I've ever seen, but it is definitely up there and a movie that you would have to go check out. And I think that everybody that would go check it out would say that definitely it is a decent film. I think Clint Eastwood delivered. I think Tom Hanks, as usual, delivered in his lead role. And yeah, that is pretty much my view on Sully. Everybody who listened to this review, definitely make sure to check out all my other videos and reviews that I have coming up. All the movies that I go to, I definitely will be reviewing from now on. And yeah, go out and check out Sully at your local theater. I highly stress everybody support their local theaters. I don't want to see them going out of business anytime soon anywhere, and I want it always to be an option to be able to go to a theater and check out a movie. As I said, subscribe, comment, rate if you like what you hear, and as always guys, until next time, I want to thank you for listening, and peace out.